Bullshit.
It's the No Bullshit Marketing Show. I'm Dave Mastovich, CEO and founder of Massolutions, the world's only no bullshit marketing agency. Today, I want to talk about the buzzword of all buzzwords and how you can make it actually work for you. That buzzword is storytelling. And I want to talk to you about how to leverage storytelling in your healthcare marketing, because so many people are now referencing storytelling. They've taken over and just abused this term of storytelling. And it's not going to work for everyone if you don't define a strategy around your marketing that then applies that storytelling to reach the right audience at the right time. So let's talk about healthcare. So many people talk about healthcare storytelling, and I'm going to give you a couple of examples that we've seen that we think are scratching the surface, but not no BS storytelling. So a lot of people take the calendars, the healthcare calendars. It's National Diabetes Month. Or they take events like there's a blood drive, and they talk about these months, Diabetes Month, or they talk about a blood drive or a blood screening. And here's the thing to think about. If you're doing that kind of content calendar, you aren't really leveraging the power of storytelling or the tenets of no BS marketing, because you have to work backwards and start by beginning with the end in mind and saying, what do we want to achieve with our healthcare marketing, whether it is physician practices or wound care, home health, physical and occupational therapy, health insurance, Medicare HMO programs. It doesn't matter. Whatever type of healthcare marketing you're doing, begin with the end in mind by saying, what are the goals we specifically have first for our marketing, and then how is our storytelling going to be a part of that marketing? What does this all mean to you? It means look at those target markets that you have and be serious about the science behind the target markets. Have more than 2 or 3 variables that you use. Have meaningful variables. The other day we were doing one of the storytelling mastery classes, and one of the attendees in this cohort said, this opened my eyes when I saw that some of the variables that I used were just optimistic or wishful thinking, because your variables for your target markets have to be measurable. They have to be accessible. They have to be actionable. They have to be growable. What do I mean by measurable? Well, if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. What do I mean by accessible? Well, if you said, I want to reach the upper 0.1% people to talk to them, well, that's not necessarily accessible or actionable. If you say, I want to reach the people that really think that they're high-end and wealthy and are thinking about being in a social class, well, you're not putting anything definable by it. So then it's not going to be growable for you. So the first step is looking at who the target audience really is. And that target audience has to have multiple variables. And those target audiences can't miss the 2 obvious but neglected target audiences. 1, employees, and 2, referral sources. You have to take both of those markets and drill them down with 3, 4, 5 variables. So now you've got your B2E target market, business to employee. You've got your referral source target market, your centers of influence. You've got your patient target audience. You've got your adult children if it's senior living. Each of those target markets, target audiences, has to have those variables that are measurable, accessible, actionable, and growable. Now you've got the target markets down. You want to then decide what you're going to do to reach, connect, and engage that target market. And how do you want to change their behaviors and mindsets? That's part of your marketing strategy. That's part of how you do your roadmap or plan. You want to decide, what behaviors do I want to change by reaching, connecting, and engaging with each specific target audience? What behaviors and mindsets do I want to change? That's part of your marketing roadmap, your marketing plan. So now we've looked at the target audiences. We start deciding what we want to have them do Then we decide on the specific stories for each of those target audiences. And then we decide on the channels which to use those stories. So people kind of get it backwards and they start off saying, hey, let's get some commercials, or let's do some patient testimonials, let's do some physician bios. And I want to be frank. Yes, I'm not saying you don't look at your target markets. You do. But I'm saying, do you do it with the rigor and the science that I'm mentioning? Do you have the plan with the details in that roadmap that outline where you're going to go and what you want to do to change their behaviors and mindsets? What do you want them to think? What behavior and mindset do you want to change specifically? Because that's how you then build the story. So when you think about this, you have this marketing roadmap, this marketing plan that starts with your target audiences, with meaningful segmentation, not bullshit segmentation. Meaningful segmentation with variables that are measurable, accessible, actionable, and growable. And then you start deciding in that strategy, what behavior do we want to change? What mindset do we want to change? Then you're building the story to do that. And to build that story, you need to have systematically gathered insights from those target markets, because the story should be built by, for, and about each target audience. By, for, and about each target audience. By them, here's how it's built by them. You talked to them, you listened, you heard what they were saying, what they wanted to change. Built for and about them is that you tell the story for them about other people like them. That's what you do with the storytelling. By, for, and about each target audience. Then you decide on which channel to use. So that channel might be, it is a commercial that we're going to air in certain places. It is a testimonial that we're going to put on our website. We're going to put on our social media. We're going to use in email campaigns. We're going to use to show the target audience that testimonial. It could be physician bios that are going to be on the website, but then you put those physicians on camera on the website. You put that on your social media. You put that again and again in vehicles where people can see it, so it changes behaviors and mindsets. You focus on employees. You hear what employees have to say, because you have to reach, connect, and engage employees to change behaviors and mindsets, because that helps with your recruiting and your retention. It helps with your productivity. So it's not so much saying, yes, we do patient testimonials. We have physician bios, and we put videos of the physicians on our website. That's the starting point. But when you have the marketing strategy through your roadmap, your plan, and when you define those target audiences, then you create the stories by, for, and about them. You then decide on which channels to use. And of course, I'm recommending you use video. And of course, I'm recommending you use online marketing. But that's what no bullshit healthcare marketing is. And that's how you leverage the power of storytelling in no bullshit marketing. If you want to talk at all about this, reach out to me online, LinkedIn, email, whatever. Would be happy to hear what's working for you and where you have challenges. It's all about having the marketing strategy, the roadmap, the plan. It's all about systematically gathering insights so you can define those target audiences and build the stories by, for, and about them, and then have the activation, the implementation that changes behaviors and mindsets. You can do it. It's all about having the behavioral science drive the creative art and having the plan and the strategy to achieve those marketing goals. Thanks for listening to another episode of the No Bullshit Marketing Show, recorded here in Massolutions studio in bold, beautiful downtown Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Remember, ask yourself, what's the big idea? And build your story around the answer. It's all about bold solutions, no BS.